You know, despite the issues you had with the last 3 episodes...
The many issues.
Yeah, the many issues. This one was actually pretty good.
Well, there are a couple of issues with this one too, you know.
And I'm sure we'll be discussing them at length.
Hit it. So what was it about this episode that you liked, then?
Well, for one thing, the fact the story focused primarily on things other than the xenomorphs. I mean, they brought in other species, so we got to explore one of them.
The eye octopus.
Yeah, the creepy eye octopus.
Not the others, mind. Not the worm that sucks all your blood, nor the weird plant-like thing, nor the one we haven't properly seen yet.
Well, you're asking me to focus on the good things, so that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough. Carry on.
Okay. The Lost Boys are getting more defined. It's like clearer who they are, all distinct from each other.
Yeah, I agree, which is good. We've got Wendy, Isaac, who's just changed his name and who's the scientist, Curly, the arrogant, ambitious girl who didn't do much this episode, Slightly, the compromised one, Nibs, the nut job, and I guess the only one left who's just a kid who just wants to play is me. But what bugs me, though, is that although they're all built the same, how come Wendy's the only one who can hear the xenomorphs?
You're not annoyed the aliens are actually referred to as xenomorphs.
Not really. It literally means alien form, and the first time those creatures were referred to as such was in 1986's Aliens.
Yeah, but that was just a generic name to refer to an alien life form, not those specific creatures. Here, it's clear they refer to the alien creature as a xenomorph, and not the other 4 species.
Good point.
And as for why Wendy's the only machine that can hear them, I guess as Boy Cavalier said...
Asimov said above a certain level, technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah, I've got an issue with that quote.
I thought you might.
Well, first of all, that quote doesn't refer to take you make yourself. I mean, you should know what your own take can do, right? Treating it like, oh, I've just created something I don't understand. It can do stuff I hadn't designed it to do, so it must be magic, is really lazy writing. And second, Boy Cavalier confidently said that the quote is from Asimov, but it isn't. The actual quote is, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and Arthur C. Clarke wrote it, not Asimov. Any fan of sci-fi knows that, and if they don't, it's only 5 seconds away via a Google search. Why make such a blatant mistake?
Well, I'm sure it'll get people talking.
Undoubtedly, as we are now, but come on. Who makes such an obvious mistake?
Well, it's nearly 200 years in the future. These writers are pretty far in the past by then.
I don't buy it. It would be like confusing Mozart and Beethoven if you're a classics aficionado. The guy's supposed to be a genius.
Okay, put it this way. It's either a mistake by the writers, which no one questioned, which would be unlikely. It would mean no one person in the entire staff raised the issue.
Well, that's one possibility.
Or it's just to show that however genius Boy Cavalier might be, he doesn't know everything, and his staff are all too afraid to correct him.
That might be more likely. Maybe this'll get more developed in a future episode.
It might, just like you wondered earlier what was the status of these robot children. Are they human or property?
Yeah, they're property. Not much of a surprise, but good it was mentioned.
Seems living in a world ruled by mega corporations isn't as wonderful as it's made out to be.
I don't think anyone thought that. Like, those robot kids are property, okay, but aren't the humans as well? You saw how the lawyer guy manipulated Joe. He hasn't really got much of free will either, and is stuck working for Prodigy.
Humans have sadly always thrived on slave labor.
Yeah, when Joe talks to the robot kids, he tells them those 5 companies which took over the world fixed all the problems, and yet there still are wars.
Wars are very good profit generators.
As they've always been. Now, there's another thing that bugged me. It's the fact that we learned that those robot children are powered by a lithium-ion battery, which was such a weird and archaic thing to mention. I mean, okay, right now, that's what humans use for most of their portable devices. But that tech has limits and downsides, and alternatives are always being researched. Yet, that's what's powering super advanced androids in the future? You mean to tell me that in 200 years of progress, with humanity traveling the stars with artificial gravity and cryogenic sleep and no towns else, we haven't found a better technology than lithium-ion?
That was a weird thing to mention, I agree. They could have just written battery instead of lithium-ion battery.
And you know what? As it happened in the very same scene as the quote misappropriation, it makes me think that wasn't some subtle hint that Boy Cavalier doesn't know everything, but that it was a genuine mistake by the writers.
Could be.
Well, another thing that's been bugging me is the, bug Morrow planted on Slightly. Setting aside the fact that a 65-year-old tech could so seamlessly integrate with a modern machine, how could his builders not know Slightly was compromised?
Well, now we know.
Yep, Kirsch knows and is monitoring the situation. Although, Why does he not put a stop to it?
Well, I won't say so the story can happen. I know you hate that.
But it's the truth, though, isn't it?
It does feel that way, right? But you can't have all the answers in one go, though, can you? We still got, what, 4 more episodes after this one?
Yeah, okay. Although, attached to that is Slightly's mum. Why would she believe a complete stranger that her son is alive? Even if he showed her a picture, he doesn't sound the same, he doesn't look the same. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it's
so the story can happen. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's sidestep that for now. Can you guess which was the best and scariest part of this episode for me?
Nibs breaking down?
Nibs breaking down. Never mind that eye octopus taking over the shape. Here, we have super powerful machines controlled by the minds of children. And no one seems to have thought what would happen if one went nuts.
To be fair, they were sent on a search and rescue mission which turned into a house of horrors before they were ready.
Damn, they're responsible if you ask me.
Hindsight's 20/20.
It always is. Still wondering, though, why Wendy's the only machine that can hear the aliens. I mean, the idea that she was chosen is ridiculous. I certainly hope they'll give us a proper explanation. Just because certainly isn't good enough in my book.
Oh, you want some kind of technobabble answer?
I want some kind of answer, Commander. At least it would show us the writers thought about it, rather than Wendy can hear them because reasons.
So, those nitpicks of yours, they're pretty small.
Okay, yes. Despite the fact the anachronisms still bug me, and I think prequels will always cause no end of problems for a franchise. Any franchise. I'm looking at you, Strange New Worlds. This was actually the best episode of the series so far. Good tension, good developments, interesting ideas for the most part. If I had a rating, I'd give it 3 out of 4 nuggets.
Why don't you make one?
How?
Well, just like that. You know, text indistinguishable from magic and all that.
Well, since it works for the show... 3 nuggets. Alright, we're done here for this episode. And if you like what we do,
and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
We'll leave a link to it in the description and pinned comment.
Thanks for watching. Do let us know what you think in the comments, and I'll give you the response you deserve. And you know what? As it happened in the exact... And you know what? As it happened in the very same scene as the quote misappropriation, it makes me think that wasn't some subtle hint that Boy Cavalier doesn't know everything, but that it was a genuine mistake by the writers.